Hello everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. I'm back today to talk to you about our beloved country. You see, my address is called My Charge to Nigeria and Nigerians. And the topic that I'm talking about today is called the FBI list fallouts. Then, in quote, the next title there is a quote from a prominent person in Nigeria. It says, "Few Nigerians giving us bad name." Ooh, wow. Few Nigerians giving us bad name. You know who said that? My beloved president, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, what happened is that the president was in Tokyo when he had the news of the FBI list that almost 80 Nigerians have been rounded up all over the world and they have been accused of this, and then, you know, all this talk. And then, Nigeria, of course, the president has to speak. So let me just tell you what he said. He said there are few Nigerians in the diaspora, not at home, in the diaspora, that are giving us a bad name by engaging in criminal activities. So few Nigerians are giving us bad names who are in diaspora. He says, these Nigerians are minority. Who, Mr. President? These Nigerians are minority. They do not represent the values of our country. That one I agree. They do not represent the values of our country. And I plead with them to change their ways. But they do not represent the values of our country. But how many people live by the values of our country, Mr. President? How many people in Nigeria even know the values of our country? For the sake of argument, I have written books about Nigeria, and for people who are interested could go. I did my research and I discovered that there are 20 main values that Nigeria is built on. But almost nobody knows any of those values because we are not taught. If you are not given the values to live by, you will live by what is available. And since we are human, we are being driven by our carnal desires and demands to survive, the survival instinct. The only thing we could figure out is how to dupe people, how to deceive people, how to find a way to just make a living. Because we are not being taught the values that our country is built on and the values that Nigerians need to imbibe in themselves. We are not built, our lives are not built on certain known values that every Nigerian will know the values upon which every Nigerian must live his life. The values that the country is built on. So that everybody will know the values who a Nigerian is. A Nigerian is supposed to be known by his values. But go and ask a Nigerian right now in the street and to tell you the list of values that a Nigerian must possess to call himself a Nigerian. Nobody knows anything. Because in our own understanding, governance is just, putting off the fire. It's fire brigade approach to government. We're just managing, running scatter to resolve, one problem or the other catastrophe that is happening everywhere. We are not ruling the country by foresight. We are not ruling the country by, vision. We are not building the country on informed, exposed values that people are supposed to know, okay, this is where we are going, this is how to get there, and these are the building blocks. And these building blocks must become a part and parcel of the life of every Nigerian. That's why we have this Biafrans saying they are not Nigerians. The Oduduwa guys are saying they are not Nigerians. Everybody is going everywhere. The Arewa people have their own thoughts. The Yorubas have their own thoughts. The Middle Belt people are talking their own language. Everybody is talking different languages. That is the trick that God used to break down the Tower of Babel. If you could get people not to have a common language, if you could get people to be talking their own thing, then you will never have a country that is strong enough to stand. It will fall apart. The reason why Nigeria is falling apart is not because Igbos are Biafrans are bad. It's not because the Arewa people are bad or Yorubas are bad. It's because our leaders have not given us a vision. Nigeria is not being built on visions and value systems. So I don't say the president is lying when it comes to talk like this, but I'm just saying that the president is just talking diplomacy. These Nigerians are minority. You mean it, Mr. President? That these Nigerians are minority? All Nigeria is falling apart morally, Mr. President. I would rather say that the people who know values are the minority these days. The people who live by values and standards are the minority, even back home. Not just these people who are in the diaspora that are bringing giving the country bad name. The people in diaspora, yes, some of them are giving the country bad name, but what about the people back home? Can you do any clean business at home? Can you trust anybody at home? Are the people, even people in your own cabinet cannot be trusted. The whole country is falling apart. And the reason is the leadership needs to take responsibility that we need to begin an ethical revolution. We need an ethical revolution quick and fast. And Mr. President, this is the reason why I supported you in the first place. In 1984, you demonstrated to Nigerians that you know that Nigeria has a need in this thing. You came and introduced war against indiscipline as part of the revolution that we needed. You knew that that has to be the foundation of changing the country and moving the country forward. But now that you are here as a civilian, we are not hearing anything about war against indiscipline anymore. If you don't focus, first of all, on changing the value system of Nigerians, one catastrophe and upon another will just be happening left, right, and center. And then the president also says we will not condone any crime, whether at home or abroad. That is the problem. You are fighting consequences. You are fighting crime, corruption. But what is it that gives birth to crime and corruption? Lack of values. And then you say, okay, we will not also not allow these Nigerians to define us as a people with reputation for criminality. We are already defined as a people with reputation for criminality, my president. And the reason is because you have not given us another definition. I don't know. I know that we have an agency for reorientation of the country, for values and orientation. What are they doing? Fire them, Mr. President. Call them to your office and let them give you some strategies of how to imbibe and build in value system into our people. That is the only way we are going to avoid and not be branded as a fraudster country and as a criminal country. So what I'm saying is that if the government don't start the act of building the nation with this, I mean, of course, you are not going to use the same strategy you used in 1984. Change strategy, but don't change your goal. But fighting corruption is already fighting with consequences. You need to fight. You need to work on the prevention. Cure is good, but prevention is better. And these people are getting salary. They are government officials. They are civil servants sitting down there to occupy the agency that is called on values and national orientation. And the value of the country is descending like this, is declining. And you letting them sit down in those offices? Come on, Mr. President. Wake up, Mr. President. Of course, we will not tell people to go and be carrying sticks, cane, and be flogging people like in 84. We will not be telling people to go and be doing jump up or whatever, frog jump like in 84. Those are primitive methods, okay? Even though they are still using those kind of methods even in countries like Singapore. But the need for value orientation is screaming. It's screaming everywhere. Under a week, we have so many fraudster information all over the internet. Nigerians on Twitter also, they are being hypocritical and on the social media, Twitter, and saying, oh, okay, why are they branding us as bad? We are not bad, we are good. Everybody is good. Every nation is good. Nigerians are good too. But we will not be good automatically forever like that if there is no guidance. Without vision, people lose focus. They lose direction. Nigeria has lost direction. Nigerian people have gone haywire. They have gone haywire. They have lost direction because there is no Give me a list. Even Mr. President, I'm not sure you could give me a list of 20 values upon which Nigeria is built. That's why I kept on writing all these books about Nigeria and about building nations. We don't know them. These values need to be inculcated into our people from primary school, actually kindergarten, primary school, nursery, secondary school, university, civil servants. Everybody needs to imbibe these 20 values and know that these are the things that the country should be built on. Then, I read also an article by one of our stars, Peter from Peace Corps, who wrote a small article called Why Us? I mean, great guy, because you could see that Peter guy is concerned about the destiny of the country, and he's concerned because he travels, he knows how much bad name that Nigeria has. So what he wrote is that in China, Chinese hate Nigerians. But do they hate us just for nothing? It's because of what our people have done. Because they have brought bad name upon themselves. Chinese hate Nigerians. And then it says, even a Nigerian was killed recently because his visa expired. Well, why should he even allow his visa to expire and stay in the country without visa? Because of lack of values. We don't have a sense to live by values or to live by what is right. That Peter from Peace Corps kept on saying that even in America, FBI has launched an operation against Nigerians involved in scams. You're right, Peter, because they launched operation against not just Nigerians. You're right on that one, but they launched operation against Nigerians involved in scams. Why should we even be involved in scams in the first place? It's because of the falling and broken down walls of values in our nation. He said the ICE is busy deporting lost like tomorrow no day. That's what he said. He said like they are deporting Nigerians as if tomorrow no day. They will deport criminals from their country. What country wants to house criminals? They are doing what is right. They want you to imbibe values. But what our government is doing is we want it to happen naturally. We want it to happen naturally. We want our people to just be good out of nowhere. It will not happen naturally. It doesn't happen by itself. I mean, it's only grass, dirt that grow naturally. But if you want a garden, you have to work on it. If you want Nigeria to become a garden, you've got to work on your people. You've got to give them direction. You've got to give them vision. You've got to define for them what you want them to be like. That Peter from Peace Corps kept on saying that in UK, our people are searched like criminals at Heathrow Airport. Definitely, because they've caught a few criminals from your country, my dear. It's not just out of nowhere. They are not doing it for everybody from every country. Where values have been put in place, we need to make Nigeria become virtuous people again. Then he says, even in this common Ghana, what common Ghana? If common everywhere will begin to chase us everywhere now. He said, even in common Ghana, launched an attack recently against Nigerians and asked our people to go home. Definitely. And the reason why Ghana is doing that is not because the Nigerians are just hated. It's because of our bad actions. We need to wake up and smell the coffee. We need to wake up and face reality. All those diplomacy. I understand Mr. President has to talk diplomatically and say, oh, they don't represent Nigeria. They don't represent our values. And, okay, we are different. That is not Nigeria. There are just a few Nigerian diaspora. Tell me what is happening back at home. Tell me what's happening back in your backyard. Kidnappers. Are those diasporans? Are those just some bad people from diaspora? The country is falling apart. Take the issues of value serious, Mr. President. Peter from Peace Corps has kept on saying, he talked about South Africa, that even here in South Africa, Nigerians are avoided like leprosy. Definitely they will avoid you like leprosy when you are involved in crimes. There is, because when I listen to Nigerian government and the ministers, they're all talking about figures, economy, road, big deal road. Oh, we open road, we open the new border, the new road, we want little things. That is not how a country is built, my friend. You need to first of all build a country on values. Countries are not great because of their roads. Countries are not great because of their raw materials or natural resources. Countries are great because of the greatness of their values. We need to build a country of great values. And our values will define our greatness. It is only when we build a country of virtuous people, people of great values, then our country will be able to be great. Because people of great values don't steal. People of great values are not corrupt. People of great values are not scammers. People of great values will not go and be doing all kind of, rubbish that our 419 that our people are doing everywhere now. Peter also spoke about Malaysia. He mentioned Malaysia. He mentioned Dubai. He mentioned Israel. That even Israel, where we send our tithes to, they don't want us anymore. Well, there is a reason for it. And until we humble ourselves and ask ourselves why. That's what Peter said, and I commend him for this. Peter said we have to humble ourselves for that our healing as a country will come when we humble ourselves and ask for why. I don't just want to ask why. I have asked why from myself for a long time. I have solution to this problem. I have solution, and I don't care. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to go into government, but I have solution. And I will encourage the government to get people like myself or people like others. I'm not interested in politics, but I will give you my ideas of how to make Nigeria better because I know how. Of course, you see the shame that is attached to the green passport all over whenever you travel. It's not just about Fulani S-men, kidnappers. Those are at home. Are those the few diasporans that are bringing bad name? The Niger Delta kidnappers, are they few Nigerians that are bringing bad name? The Yoruba 419 computer scammers, are they few Nigerians that are bringing bad name? The Igbos that are drug pushers, are they few Nigerians that are bringing Nigerian bad names? Everybody, every Nigerian like myself who lives in diaspora knows the pain of being called a Nigerian and holding the Nigerian green passport in a foreign land. Why, the guy was asking why us? Why us is simple. Our values are falling apart. And once we answer this question, Maranatha, we could say, yes, we have arrived. But right now, the president is focusing on saying, no, this is not who we are. Okay, tell me, Mr. President, who are we? Oh, these are not our values. Okay, what are our values? Let me know. Go to any primary school in Nigeria and let them tell me the list of Nigerian values. Go to secondary school, even university, let them tell us the list of Nigerian values. So it is not about fighting negative image. Fighting negative images like painting a building from outside when inside is full of dirt. That's what we are doing. We're talking about, fighting the image of Nigeria, presenting a good image. Care less about image, Mr. President. It's time to fix the inside. We need to fix our internal values first of all. So fighting corrupt people is already after the damage has been done. Fighting criminals outside, what we call the evil element or bad element, is we need to start from the foundation. And the foundation is erecting the walls of values in our country. Yes, I understand the president. He has to speak because he was actually speaking from Tokyo, like I said. He has to speak diplomatically. But this is not about just speaking diplomatically now. This goes beyond that. This goes because he just gave his press conference, spoke something. I don't see the action, the changes in Nigeria back at home. But in actual fact, I believe we all need to take the bull by the horns and admit to our failure as a people. Failure in terms of morals, failure in terms of values, and failures in terms of ethics. The president has to admit that Nigeria has failed in values, in ethics. We have to admit that we have failed in morals. All Nigerians have to admit that we have failed. And, after the president said, these are just minority, bringing bad name, then I went to because that was the same week when all this, because that list, that FBI list, was 90% Igbo people. And one Igbo guy, intellectual guy, came on stage and said, that is not who we are. We are not Igbo. Igbo people are not criminals. He's saying the same thing, giving excuses. Okay, he was mentioning Chinua Achebe, that is who Igbos are. Shima and Manda, or whatever, that is who Igbos are. Mentioning the good ones, which are really, the exceptions, right? The good ones, maybe they are not the exception. Every nation is good. And started saying, well, that is who we are. Don't let us allow people to define us. Don't let us allow the criminals to define us. Hey, you are also concerned about image. People define you, these ones define you. It's not about people defining you. You define yourself. And I am ashamed that guy, I will not mention the name of the guy who wrote that article. You are supposed to talk to your people. Just like I'm talking to all of Nigerians now. Because we have a problem with the Igbos who are drug pushers. And we've got to face it. We have a problem. And until Igbo intellectuals like this guy stand up and face the drug pushers and face the criminals and say, hey guys, we are not going to allow you to spoil our names. America cannot help you. You say, oh, Americans arrested them. If you don't fix the problem among your own people, it only gets worse. The same thing with the Yorubas. I was told that in most Yoruba universities now and Nigerian universities, I said, most students are doing on computer online, doing 419. If the Yoruba nation will not address, all the governors are not talking about that. I don't hear Yoruba governors talking about the 419s in universities. I don't hear parents talk about this openly. I don't hear the intellectuals in Yoruba land talk about this. I don't hear the politicians talk about this. We are just closing our eyes as if it's not affecting us because they are not robbing us. They are duping and scamming foreigners. So we think we are okay because, it's a problem, but it's not such a big problem. Well, he's going to be a huge problem very soon. So it's the same thing for the Yoruba to say, we are really a good people. We Yoruba people are good. We are all having a problem, guys. The same way the Igbos have to address their own menace, the same way Yorubas need to address their own menace, and the other people in Nigeria, just like the Edo people need to, stop saying that, oh, we Edo people are not prostitutes. We don't have... Your people are painting the picture that you are prostitutes. If you go to Italy, 90% of the people will be Edo people doing prostitution. So you need to address the question instead of talking about image. People giving you a bad image. So it's about lasting solution that we are talking about. So this is not just about people spoiling our name. We need to come up with lasting solution. And the lasting solution is to say that, yes, we have problem with morals, we have problem with ethics, we have problem with value system. It has fallen down both in Yoruba land, in Igbo land, in Hausa land, because Hausa people could say, oh, we don't have any problem. What about the herdsmen? Oh, northerners. What about the herdsmen? What about the kidnapping? All of us are in trouble. We are all in trouble. It's not just the iPod people that have problem. Not just the Oduduwa people have problem. Arewa people have problem also. Because that same week was the week that the iPod guys went and beat the senators in Germany. The senator, one Nigerian senator in Germany. And they beat him, and you know what Nigerians were doing? They were rejoicing, saying, hey, you deserve them. Because many people even say, call me, we beat them too. Because it's a proof of the failure of morals and values. These two incidents are pointing to the fact that we have become a nation of Philistines, a nation of failures and catastrophic failure morally. We need to address this issue, guys. Of course, some of our people condemn this act, while others even endorse it. Even some people are praising the Yahoo guys. But I think that all these things that are happening in South Africa, in all those places that people are mentioning in America, in FBI, they are a clarion call to us, all of us as Nigerians, to begin to urgently, talk about ethics. We need ethical revolution in our country. And I call on politicians, I call upon the National Assembly, I call upon everybody everywhere, please, let's do something about, starting a revolution. I mean, it's good what Dora Akunyili was doing. She was trying to rebrand the country, good people, great nation. But I'm not talking about rebranding right now. Why should we deceive ourselves by telling people that everything is okay? No, it's not time to rebrand. It's time to, dig to the root of our country and remove everything that is making us to become like this. And this not branding and rebranding is not a solution. It's when you are branding and talking about image, it's like bandaging a sore when you are supposed to do surgery on the leg. You are not curing the wound. You are just bandaging it. So that's not what we need. We need a thorough surgical intervention in the issue of Nigerian moral failure. We have a big problem in our hands. We have collapsed morally. We have collapsed as ethics. Even our politicians have, they don't have morals to fall back to. We have problems. Starting from the presidency to the last person in the street, we all have problems. So these are not just a few of bad Nigerians in the diaspora bringing bad name to Nigeria. No. If you even ask the Nigerians in the diaspora, they will tell you that the ones in Nigeria are worse. They will tell you that they send money home, and instead of building them a house, they are building themselves a house or doing something like that. We don't know where Nigerians are worse. I even think that Nigerians in the diaspora are be better because of these kind of things. So what we need is an urgent intervention. We need a war against indiscipline. We need an ethical revolution. Anything you call it. We just need to build our nation on values and build our people up in value systems, in morals, and in ethics to be able to save the destiny of this country. It is not IPOB that is killing Nigeria. It is not herdsmen that is killing Nigeria. It is not Oduduwa people that are killing Nigeria. It is our lack of values that is crushing Nigeria. For the love of God, church and nation, peace.